What's up, boys? It's Filthy Casual here, back at it again, giving you another video of the day. This video, we are talking about top 10 point guards for the 2023 season. We are ranking them. Yes, we are doing it. This list is going to be based on how much, if you had the option to just have this player, none of the pieces around them, none of the projecting how good they'll be 3 years, 4 years, 5 years from now. Age doesn't matter. This is purely a 1 year just this player kind of exercise. So we're going to start off, we're going to list a couple of people who didn't make it. Drew Holiday didn't make it. LaMelo didn't make it. De'Aaron Fox, probably the biggest snub, I think. I don't think he got snubbed from this list. I don't think he's better than anyone on this list. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox didn't make this list. Mike Conley, Jalen Brunson, I really wanted to put on this list because he's a New York Knick, but I mean, yeah, there's an argument to put him on this list instead of someone, but I didn't do it just because I don't want to be a biased New York Knick. But okay, so we're gonna start off number 10, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. SGA had another fantastic season of playing 50 games before the Oklahoma City Thunder told him to stop playing. But once again, averaged 24 points. So he upped his scoring average. His efficiency was a little bit down this year compared to his normal production. He was slightly below his league average effective field goal percentage. He's around league average true shooting. But he has the 6th highest PER amongst point guards, and I think that today he's a top 10 point guard, and he's only in his 4th year. Can you believe that? It feels like this dude's been forced to sit for 3 years in a row now, every year on OKC, and he's only been in the league for a year. 4 years. The guy's 23. The guy's a year younger than me. That's so crazy. But either way, SGA, fantastic player, averaged 24 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds. Hard to argue with anything. Key points of improvement, obviously 3-point shooting. He only shot 30% from 3 this year, which is tough, but he's also shot 40% from 3 before. So I think we'll see that go up, because that's way below his career averages. Next player on the list. This is why I had the spiel. Oh, a little much there. I put Russell Westbrook. So Russell Westbrook averaged 18, 7, and 7, which sounds pretty good. You sound like, whoa, 18, 7, 7? Of course, like that sounds great. It's kind of all the other stuff that makes me question whether or not I should put him on the list. I felt like I needed to, just because one bad year with the Lakers in a situation that's very toxic and very not suitable to how you play the game. And yes, Russell Westbrook, I don't like Russell Westbrook, honestly. I don't like his style of play. I think he's inefficient. I think he turns the ball over. I think he takes bad shots. I think his assist numbers are inflated. I think all these things, but I feel like I'm also a hater, and I need to balance that out with a little bit of, okay, but it's Russell Westbrook, right? So I felt like I needed to put Russell Westbrook on the list, but I also think that everybody else on this list is better than him, even SGA. But I felt like I needed to give him props, and this was the most props I felt I could give him in good conscience. That being said, his free throw shooting numbers are now consistently in the 60s. It's been like 5 years of this now, where his free throw numbers suck. His 2-point efficiency is also down. His 3-point efficiency has always sucked. His turnovers. He's averaging 4 a game. He averaged 5 a game in Washington. he's gonna do a lot for you if you just had him as a player. However, this was the highest I could put him, and even now I feel like I'm kind of trying to walk back and take him off the list, and I shouldn't. But I like I'm sure if you ask Lakers fans, they're probably saying, "What the heck?" Like, I'll take any player on this list over Westbrook, and I don't blame you. But I think in a different situation, he would be a player who would contribute a lot more. Even if you just look at Washington, he was way better in Washington. So, um, next on the list, it was a player who hadn't. Well, I'll put it like this. So Darius Garland, number 8, is Darius Garland. Darius Garland had a great year, first All Star season, led the Cavs to the playoffs. Pretty much got Jared Allen an All Star nod. Not to say that Jared Allen didn't deserve it, but Jared Allen's not an All Star without an All Star point guard. He's just not. He doesn't create enough, so he needs that guy next to him. And hey, like, props to Darius Garland. He's gotten better every year of his career. He's shooting almost 90% from the free throw line. He's shooting almost 40% from three, 38 this year, but almost 40 last year. So he's kind of trending as an elite 3-point shooter. Um, I don't want to project him getting better than he was this year. I think he will be better than he was this year, and he was fantastic this year. He had almost 9 assists, and I think the main uh avenue of improvement is just being a little bit more assertive with his scoring, but he's such a good passer that it's like Darius Garland is one of those players who I've watched a lot, and I still like I can see him getting better, but also like I just have no clue how much better. So I don't want to project shit and like put expectations on him because I feel like he's really really good right now, and I'm looking forward to seeing him continue to improve. As far as advanced stats, he was I think 10th in PER. And as far as true shooting goes, he was 13th. So, not bad. Um, Great player, and looking forward to seeing him play more. Next on this list is Kyrie Irving. So, no, actually, sorry, no. Misread that. I have Chris Paul. So I kind of spoiled who I put above Chris Paul because obviously putting Chris Paul 7th when he was an All NBA third team obviously means that I'm picking 6 guards over him and 6 point guards. Although this list kind of, I feel like everybody's kind of a combo guard nowadays, and like pure shooting guards aren't really too much of a thing. You've got a couple of them that are like shooting guards that kind of cosplay as point guards. um, Donovan Mitchell, Devin Booker. Well, those are like the only 2 real shooting guards, I should say. Them and like Jaylen Brown, which are like 3 premier dudes, awesome guys. But those are like the only 3 shooting guards in the league that I think are like actually shooting guards. Um, SGA is the other guy, but apparently ESPN is classifying him as a point guard. That's why he's on the list at number 10. Um, but yeah, CP3. Everybody knows CP3 stats. I think it was like 14 points, but he's so much more than his stats. He is a killer in the clutch. Obviously, the playoffs this year didn't really help that argument, but I've seen that man take over too many fourth quarters to say otherwise, especially this year. And a collapse in the playoffs doesn't get rid of all of his performance prior to that. That being said, I do think, he's freaking ancient now. And who knows how if he's going to be able to play a full 82 game season. And that, while it did not affect how I ranked him, I just don't believe, given how he played last year, that there are not 6 point guards that are better than him. So I need to stop meandering. So number 5, I have Kyrie. Kyrie didn't really play a ton last year, but when he played, he was awesome. He averaged 27 points on great efficiency. I think it was like 40, 47, 40, 90, 91, something like that. Or not 91 because that would have, but yeah, it was 90. So yeah, Kyrie played fantastic. As far as PR goes, he was fourth amongst point guards. Granted, he only plays 29 games. Um, Above average true shooting. He's a great, good passer. I'm not gonna say great passer, but he's a good passer. And if you want, and honestly, without all the extrajudicial drama involving him, he could probably be higher on this list. Just because, like, if he focused more on basketball. But I mean, Kyrie's a beast. Um, I'm gonna be really sad to see him play somewhere that's not Brooklyn, because that sucks. But moving on, I have Dame Lillard. Dame Lillard also didn't play last year, so I'm not really gonna read you his stats either. But the 20 something games he played, or 30 something games he played, he was not good. His efficiency sucked. His shots didn't go in, and it came out that he was playing injured with an abdominal tear. So I just don't expect him to play like that again. I expect him to be more like the top 10 player in the league that we know him as. That being said, I couldn't put him any higher than fifth. But, that's more so because I think that some of the other players have legitimate cases to be better than him now. And I don't mean like projecting. I mean like their seasons last year put them in that category. So the one that I would say there's a really close argument for is Trae Young. I think Trae Young and Dame Lillard arguments are, I mean, you can go both ways. So the thing about Trae Young is that he's a way better passer than Dame Lillard. Trae Young is one of the best passers in the league. I'd say top 5 passer in the league. Um, yeah, I'd say like top 5. Like Luka, LeBron, Trae Young, Harden, Jokic. Right? Am I forgetting anyone there? Chris Paul. Okay, top 6. I'll say top 6 because Chris Paul is a great passer. And I don't want to throw shade on Chris Paul. So I'm not ranking those guys, but top 6 passer somewhere in there. I think you'd be hard pressed to find a guy who's a better passer. And he's great in the clutch. There was a really weird rough stage with his team. The one thing about Trae Young is that he's a terrible minus defensively, which I don't think you can say about a ton of these other guys. I think Westbrook's a minus. I think uh Kyrie's not even Kyrie, I would say, is a minus, but he's not like a terrible minus. If he actually gives a damn, he can play defense. Trae Young, I don't think, even when he gives a damn, like his defense just sucks. It's not like with Steph Curry where he gives a damn and he's actually like solid, even in his younger years. Like Trae Young's just bad at defense, and he's gonna improve upon that, but he just sucks at defense, which definitely brings him down. But so does Dame Lillard. So, that's kind of the why Trae still ends up above him. But anyways, moving on. Third we have Ja Morant. So Ja, obviously, I think you'd have a better argument to, to argue him higher on this list than argue him lower. Ja is such a unique talent. He There's like nothing that Ja can do that is like bad. The guy just like oozes basketball talent, and he's in his third year. He already got first All-Star nod. He averaged 27 points per game this past year, up from 19 the previous year. Won the most improved player, um, above league average effective field goal percentage. I believe amongst point guards, he's third in PER. Just that's the other thing about Trae. Led point guards in PER. But yeah, Ja just absolutely fantastic player. I can't say enough about him. I think he's one of the best players in the league and will continue to improve. But I have him third on this list because there's 2 players who I think are clearly better. One of which, who I have at number 2, being Luka, who does classify as a point guard. Because that's the role he plays. They have wings around him. They don't have enough. They don't have a small guy handling the ball. I mean, Jalen Brunson they had, but I mean, really, he was playing more shooting guard for them than point guard. Like he had his moments when Luka was off the floor, and even when Luka was on the floor, where he handled the ball and like ran the offense. But it was mostly Luka. Um, and I mean, I feel like I don't even need to make an argument for putting Luka at second. I think if only anything, I just have to make the argument as why he's not number one. Really, just it's because Steph Curry. Steph Curry, well, he had the worst efficiency season of his career, the worst efficiency season of his career, right? He still is fifth in PER amongst guards. He has higher, he is, as far as true shooting percentage, I believe he's second amongst guards. He's second. He's .002 behind Trae Young in this worst efficiency year as a player. Even his rookie season, this was his worst regular season. It was because that big shooting slump in the middle of the season where he just couldn't buy a basket. And like it was tough. But even all that, he's still more efficient than all of these guys, which is wild. And I mean, it's hard to argue with the finals MVP, right? Hard to argue with that. And a ring, like, come on, man. As the best player, like you can't not put him first. Like the only argument between like Steph Curry is just like who's the better player, him or Giannis? Right? I mean, you could throw a couple of other names in there, and I'm not going to argue with you, but you know what I mean. Uh, Steph Curry is the best point guard in the league. Big shocker. It's been that way for what? It's 2022. What 2013, 2014 was probably the last time there was like any kind of legitimate arguments. So it's been Steph Curry, Steph Curry, Steph Curry for like 8 years now. So just adding on another year to the list. And hey, like I think there was also a legitimate argument for him being an All NBA first team this year. And I know because of the records, like Devin Booker was going to get it no matter what. But I genuinely believe that Steph Curry had a better individual statistic season this past year than Devin Booker, and I don't think it was close. But anyways, thank you so much for watching the video. Leave a like and subscribe, and I am going to stop talking now.